Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever monthly series of this money talk show titled Gold Money for the Demons. This will be a 12 episode series featuring every month up until December with various topics in relation to gold. I would like to narrate to you all a story, and as I begin to narrate this story to you, I would like to also state that there are only two monetary metals ever recorded in history, which are the precious metals of gold, being money for the kings, and the precious metals of silver, being money for the peasants. And my story takes you all to Surah chapter number 18 of the Holy Quran, named Surah Al-Kahf, or in English translation it is translated as the cave, which in that surah narrates to us about a story of 7 young men and their dog, only one dog. The 7 young men, along with a dog of theirs, were fleeing persecution from the hands of a tyrant leader at that time. They decided to make their way out of the city center towards the mountainside, where they took refuge inside a cave and cried out to their Lord to grant them mercy from him. Their Lord heard them and decided to send them to sleep for 309 years. When they woke up, they asked themselves, "How long have we been asleep for?" One of them said, "A day." Some said, "Maybe a part of a day." But another replied, "Only your Lord knows best of how long we have been asleep. So send one of you with these silver coins of yours to the city, and let him find which food is the purest, and then bring you provisions from it." Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let us stop there in that last sentence where they mentioned silver coins, and the Arabic recitation of that particular verse is being recited in Arabic as قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم فبعثوا أحدكم بورقكم هذه إلى المدينة فلينظر. So, for those of you who never knew, that was where I actually got the channel name from, the word biwarikikum, which was used in that verse, which basically means silver coin or pure money. Like I said earlier, gold is the money for the kings and silver is the money for the peasants. But they are all money with intrinsic value, which means that the value of the money itself is within the money itself, not like the present day toilet paper, US dollars and your British pounds and whatever Japanese yen, all this toilet monetary system that we use today, which in theory, even if you sleep from now until the next 20 years, you might actually run the risk, not even 100 years, I'm telling you, 20 years. Even I'm actually exaggerating, I would say probably in the next 5 to 10 years, you might sleep for 10 years and wake up and they might tell you that nothing exists in terms of our toilet paper dollar money or your yen money or your British pounds or your pound sterlings. So yes, it is possible because your Dutch mark is in extinction after the euro was created. Yes, the German Dutch mark. So yes, money is money that has intrinsic value. Even if you sleep for 1,000 years, that money still remains money, still functions indeed as money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough stories from me and enough stories from my end, and let us all dive on in. And when we come back, we shall tackle the topic for today, or we shall tackle the topic for this particular month. And yes, before we dive deeper, I just wanted to mention where I got most of my gold coins from, gold and silver coins, which is what I deal with, as you guys can all see here. Those are my gold, silver coins, and I know that I have done most of them on my coin showcasing videos, and you guys might be wondering, and yes, you guys always do ask me in my comment sections below, where do you get all these coins from? What are the prices? Yeah, I normally tell you guys that there's a there's a Facebook group that I joined, anyways, which is called the Australia slash New Zealand Gold, Silver, and Platinum Coins, which is run by a fair list of prominent individuals and their highly respected people. Most notable of them is a guy called New Zealand's Collect. So for all of you guys who comment on my comment section, where do you get your coins from and what are the prices, you can feel free to always jump on that Facebook group to seek further clarifications, as well as ask them what are the prices, as they have been actually absolutely fantastic throughout the years. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us all dive on in. Greetings, my people, and indeed a very warm, fantastic, majestic, and fantabulous welcome to each and every single one of you to yet another of my videos. My name is Biwari Kikum Staka NZ, and you guys are highly welcome to the first ever monthly money talk show series, and welcome to chapter 1 of Gold Money for the Demons, titled The Origin of Gold on Planet Earth. Yes, that is the first chapter, Origins of Gold on Planet Earth, which we'll be discussing here. And alright, for us to understand this topic of gold itself, I will be flying you guys over to Perth. Yes, Perth, Western Australia. And we will be especially heading to the Perth Mint, all right, where we will be meeting George. Yes, George will take over, and he will give us a nice overview of how gold made its way into planet Earth, as well as the history of gold discovery in Western Australia and other necessary information we need to know before you guys will be headed back on here to my desk, where you guys have the periodic table. Yes, the periodic table of AU and AG. You guys will be back here with me, here in the city of Hamilton, New Zealand, on my desk, on the Biwari Kikum Staka NZ desk, solid desk, so that we can come back here and then conclude the show. Alrighty, let us all head off to Perth.
safety, you must remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Also be careful when opening the overhead lockers as items could fall out. It is now safe for transmitting functions on your electronic devices to be turned on. The use of mobile phones in the terminal is not permitted by Australian law until you have cleared customs and quarantine. If you're connecting to a domestic flight, you're required to collect your bags in Australia and clear customs. Follow the signs for domestic transfers. If you are connecting to an international flight here in Australia, and if your bags are being checked through to that flight, then follow the signs for international transfers. After passing security, check the departure screens for details of your next flight and ensure that you're at the gate an hour before departure. Please ensure you have your documents available for checking on arrival. From all the team, we hope you've enjoyed flying with Air New Zealand on the Star Alliance network. We would like to thank you all, including our AirPoints members, and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon. Take care, safe travels, mā te wā, and enjoy the rest of your evening ahead. Flight attendants, disarm your doors.
Where's the wheelbarrow?
个经理开玩笑，我说，他说我们一年有5万人，我说故宫一天有5万人。
All right, I think the tour guide is here.
Sit down on the wall if you like. Sit on the back there. You sit around here if you like as well. Sit on the back wall if you like. Hi folks, welcome to the Perth Mint. My name's George, and I'll be your guide for the next half hour. When you're in the melt house, you'll have another person who'll be the gold pourer. We are going to spend about 20 minutes out here, so please make yourself comfortable. Then I'm going to move you inside the exhibition space for a quick look around. And on about the hour, I'm going to move you into the melt house where you'll watch the gold pouring demonstration. After the gold pouring demonstration, you can go back into the exhibition space and you can look around at your own pace. If you need toilets, there are toilets at the front of the building. Around the side of the building, there's an accessible toilet with baby change rooms. Inside the exhibition space at the far end, there's a staircase. At the top of the staircase, there's also toilets there. You are allowed to take photos and videos throughout the tour. When you're in the melt house, if you're taking photos and videos, you must have the flashes and the lights on your devices set to off so the gold pourer doesn't get blinded. And there's one other rule inside, folks. There's no running. Very suspicious people running when there's a lot of gold. Okay, so we just keep it to a walking pace. So where does gold come from? We know we extracted it out of the ground here on Earth, but gold was not formed on this planet. It was actually born in the stars. About 4.6 billion years ago, it's believed that two stars collided. The collision from these two stars created so much debris, energy and radiation. The energy and radiation changed the atomic structure of certain elements and created gold and a lot of other heavy and precious metals. As this debris and these metals were floating around in space, our sun started to form. The debris and the metals started to circle around the sun, collide and fuse together to form different planets. As these planets were in their formation stage, they were bombarded by more debris, by comets, meteorites and asteroids. And here on this planet, they stirred up that molten pot beneath us, brought a lot of those heavy and precious metals towards the surface, where they solidified from where we extract them now. But they were born in the stars. Yes, gold is an alien. Between Mars and Jupiter exists the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt believed to be another planet that existed in our solar system that has disintegrated and left a trail of asteroids. One of the asteroids in that belt is called 16 Psyche, and they believe that 16 Psyche was the core of that planet, and it has an estimated worth of about $10,000 quadrillion because the metals and precious metals in that core. So what's the real reason all those billionaires are going into space for? Who wants to be a billionaire when you can be a quadrillionaire? Last October, NASA launched a rocket out to 16 Psyche. That rocket is travelling there as we speak. It's going to be a 16 Psyche in about August 2029. So have a closer look at this core to give us a better understanding about our planet, our core, and what's still beneath us. So in 2029, the sad thing is, when you hear about this on the news, you're all going to remember me. You're going to say, here's it's the truth, gold does come from the stars. We use the term gold because it comes from the Anglo-Saxon Germanic word for the colour yellow. That's right, gold means yellow in a foreign language. However, the Latins used to refer to that golden coloured sky. Sometimes you see that golden coloured sky at sunrise and sunset. They used to call that the Aurum. When they saw this metal and it was a similar colour to that golden coloured sky, they called this Aurum as well. And the name stuck because the first two letters of Aurum, AU. And AU is the symbol of gold. It's the short form of gold. You see that on the periodic table. And folks, later on when you're walking out, have a look at the building across the road. The cheeky bugger, he's called them the AU Apartments with gold lettering just above the front door. Now, don't think they got too much gold in there, folks. It's all back here. So that is the origins of gold. It was born in the stars. Folks, I'm going to talk about this land. I'm going to go back about 65,000 years when the first people came from the north. They made their way throughout this continent. A group came down to the southwestern region. Been living here for over 40,000 years. Today we refer to these people as the Noongar. The Noongar nation is made up of 14 different Aboriginal language groups or 14 different Aboriginal clans. One of the groups, the Whadjuk, used to live here in this Perth region. This hill, this current up area, this we're on, this used to be their summer camp area. Great place to live because you had the river down there. On the other side of this hill existed a series of lakes. Unfortunately, most of those lakes have been filled in and built on, but if you go to Yagan Square, have a look at that canopy on top of Yagan Square. That is the form of some of the lakes that used to exist here. Aboriginal people, expert hunters and gatherers, they know where to find food and water. More importantly, they know where to find water and food in the harsh outback arid conditions. So when white man came, it was the Aboriginal knowledge, the Aboriginal skill and the Aboriginal know-how that helped white man open up the interior of Australia. And back in the day, there were a couple of white fellas born here in WA by the name of Alexander and John Forrest. These two brothers grew up to be surveyors, explorers and politicians. When they were surveyors and explorers, they wanted to know what the land could be used for in remote areas, and they went on several different expeditions. They always took expert Aboriginal guides and trackers with them, including Quincy Dillon, Tommy Pierre, and Tommy Windage. And these Aboriginal guides and trackers did a fantastic job. They kept everybody fed, they kept them hydrated, they kept them alive, they brought them all back safely. Unfortunately, back in the day, not everybody had the respect for the Aboriginal people, including Robert Burke. Robert Burke led a very, very well-financed expedition. It left Victoria with 21 tons of equipment and a bathtub, but no Aboriginal guides. Burke and Wills never made it back. But King, who was a member of their party, he was rescued by the Aboriginal people until help arrived. The Aboriginal people played a significant role in what this country is today, and here at the Perth Mint, we acknowledge the custodians of this land. We pay our respect to the people and elders, past, present and emerging. We fly both the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island flags at the front of the complex, both their flags at the front of the gatehouse. Now, back in the day, not everybody could afford to travel around Australia with a big expedition, expert Aboriginal guide, including a couple of gold prospectors by the name of Bailey and Ford. Bailey and Ford were moving around Australia in the 1880s looking for gold. Queensland, Victoria, in the late 1880s they moved here into Western Australia. But the goldfields in Western Australia were not very, very rich at the time. So Bailey and Ford had to move from one goldfield to another. In 1892, they were 350 kilometres in that direction at the Southern Cross goldfield. And the gold at the Southern Cross goldfield started to dry up. Bailey and Ford heard a rumour there might be gold further to the east from Southern Cross. But the problem is, as you travel further east from Southern Cross, it's becoming harsh outback arid conditions. There is a lack of food and a lack of water, so they gave that a miss. But in July that year, their luck changed because it started to rain very, very heavily out that way. And they thought if it's going to be raining out that way, there's going to be water, there's going to be grass and feed for the horses. So they packed their horses with supplies and they headed east through the wet. They trekked east for several weeks, and one day it started to rain very, very heavily. They decided to camp at a place called Fly Flats. It rained all day, it rained all afternoon, it rained overnight. The next morning they get up. Ford grabs the horses and he's taking them down to the creek where there's greener pastures. He looks down, he sees something glistening, he digs it out of the ground, it's a gold nugget. He calls his friend Bailey over to have a look at this gold nugget. This is immortalised in that statue. That is Ford holding up the gold nugget shown at the Bailey. And the reason it's immortalised in that statue is because it was the most successful gold strike at the time here in Western Australia. But at that time when they found it, they didn't tell anybody. What they did is they put 4 pegs into the ground and they said, this is going to be our claim. Before they registered their claim, they managed to pick up approximately 17.5 kilos of mainly surface gold. Because that heavy rain washed away a lot of that topsoil, exposed a lot of their nuggets. Bailey took the nuggets back into Southern Cross, they registered the claim. People started to ask a lot of questions about where he got this gold from, where did he find, can we come with you? And he got very, very worried. He headed back to his claim, but people started to follow. People followed in their tens, people followed in their hundreds, people followed in their thousands. This area where their claim was became the third biggest city in Western Australia. Became known as City Coolgardie. Coolgardie had tens of thousands of people descending on from all over the world. They had a lack of water, but they had 26 pubs. They had 3 breweries, they had 6 banks, and they had 2 stock exchanges in the city in the middle of nowhere. People fighting over land, the Paddy Hannon and his prospector friends got sick of fighting over land around Coolgardie. They went further to the east, and 9 months later they found gold at Kalgoorlie. Now you had gold come out of Kalgoorlie, you had gold come out of Coolgardie, and you had nowhere in Western Australia to officially refine the gold. It was shipped to the mother country, or it was shipped to colony New South Wales or the colony Victoria, because both those colonies were well established and both had branches of the Royal Mint where they could refine the gold. We didn't have a mint back here, but we had a new premier. Remember those brothers I talked about? Surveyors, explorers, politicians. One became the premier. His name was Sir John Forrest. He lobbied the British to build a mint here, and they hesitated. But in 1895, they realised how much gold's coming out of the ground. They gave him the go-ahead to build a mint. A team of workers was sent down to Cottesloe Beach to cut up the limestone. More workers were sent to Rottnest Island to cut up the limestone, and they started construction in 1896. That yellowish brick you see is limestone from Cottesloe. The white stone you see in the arches, columns and decorative pieces, that is limestone from Rottnest Island. It took 3 years to complete this building. It was completed in 1899. 1899 is close enough to Australian Federation of 1901 that this style of building is known as Federation Romanesque style. Federation because the era, but why would an English architect by the name of George Temple Poole include those Romanesque features? Because he was actually born in Rome, and that's why a lot of these buildings got those Romanesque features. In 1899 they opened the mint and they start minting the currency today. And the currency today back then was the gold sovereign coin. A gold sovereign coin is about the size of an Australian 10-cent piece. A half sovereign coin is about the size of an Australian 5-cent piece. Inside the exhibition on the back wall there's a display cabinet. It has some of these gold sovereigns and half sovereign coins. A gold sovereign coin is 22 karat gold. It means it has a gold content just above 91.6%. The remainder of that coin is copper, but just over 91.6% is gold. Here at the Royal Perth Mint from 1899 until 1931, they minted in excess of 106 million gold sovereign coins, in excess of 735,000 half sovereign coins, and they shipped them to colonies all over the world. But in 1931, the depression started to affect the gold prices. They started to fluctuate. The reason you build a mint is to make money. There's a profit to be made between the production cost of the coin and the coin's face value. That is known as seigniorage. However, when the metal prices go up and the production cost blows out and it costs more to make the coin than the face value, you lose money. That is negative seigniorage. And I'll take a couple of modern examples. Today, Australian circulating currency is made at the Mint in Canberra. They make the $1 coin. The Australian $1 coin is mainly made out of copper and aluminium. It costs 14 cents to manufacture. When the government sells that to the bank for $1, they just made 86-cent profit. That is seigniorage. That's what we're talking about. Imagine how much profit they make on that $2 coin. It's smaller than the dollar coin. They make more than $1.86 profit. However, today in Canberra, the 5-cent coin. That 5-cent coin costs 12 cents to make. When the government sells that to the bank for 5 cents, they just lost themselves 7 cents. The 10-cent coin costs 19 cents to make. The 20-cent coin costs 32 cents to make. The reason for that, those coins have a lot of nickel in them. Nickel prices are fairly high. And by the way, that's why in the USA they refer to a 5-cent piece as a nickel, because of the high nickel content. Back in the day, it wasn't the nickel prices that were high, it was the gold prices. So they stopped using gold as circulating currency. We became a bullion mint. During the Second World War, we started to make pennies and half pennies. And in the mid-60s, in the 1960s, the Australian government introduced decimal currency. And here at the Royal Perth Mint, we struck and made the 2 and the 1 cent pieces for Australia. Over 829 million 2 cent pieces and 1 cent pieces were struck inside. And in the 1960s, it was still the Royal Perth Mint. It was still under the control of the British. But in the 1970s, the British no longer wanted the mint and they handed it over to the Western Australian government. We are no longer the Royal Perth Mint, we are the Perth Mint. We are owned by the Western Australian government. We are run by Gold Corporation on behalf of the Western Australian government. We no longer specialise in making circulating currency for Australia. That is Canberra's job. We are a specialist precious metals mint. We mainly deal with gold, silver, platinum and palladium. Okay, I lied about the third one. Gold, silver, platinum and sometimes palladium. And I say sometimes palladium at the moment is because 45 to 55% of the world's palladium comes out of Russia. We do not source conflict affected metals. We try to get it from other countries, mainly South Africa. But there's a very high demand for that metal because a lot of it goes into motor vehicles. You can come in, you can buy gold, you can buy silver, you can buy platinum, and when available, you can buy palladium. You can buy these in the form of bullion bars and bullion coins. A bullion bar and a bullion coin is an investment bar and an investment coin. You buy them with the hope of making some money in the long run. Or you can come in, you can buy these in the form of a proof coin. A proof coin is a collector's coin. A proof coin extremely well made in a limited number, limited series, and sold to collectors all over the world. You can buy all these online, or you can come in and buy them inside. You can pick up your little gold bullion bar, you can take it home and put it under your pillow. Or if you wanted, you can actually store your precious metals in our vaults out the back. At times, we have in excess of $6 billion of gold in storage. $6 billion of gold in storage. And just let me add, folks, we have very good security, okay? Don't get the wrong idea. So that's what we do here today. We are a specialist precious metals mint. Now back to the two guys in the statue. The one standing up, that is Arthur Bailey. Arthur started prospecting when he was 16 years old. When they found that gold in Coolgardie, Arthur was a very rich man at 26. Poor Arthur passed away at 31. Prospecting back in the day was an extremely, extremely difficult life. Long periods without food and water, long periods in the heat and dust. It caught up with poor Arthur, it's told. A lot of prospectors failed. Yes, some were successful, but some were very successful. Before them, there were a couple of friends at a place called Malaga, Victoria in 1869 working their plot looking for gold. At the top of Bulldog Ridge, Decent's picking away at the ground, he's stopping up the soil, just scooping that dirt into the wheelbarrow. He's running it down to the creek, washing it through the water to see if there's any gold in it. Up the top, Decent strikes a rock. He strikes a rock a second and third time. He thought it's unusual to have a rock this size up here. He gets down on his hands and knees 3 centimetres under the surface, a quartz rock with gold in it. He puts his pick in, he's trying to lever it out, the pick handle snaps. Grabs the second pick and the handle snaps. He covers the rock back up, he runs to the bottom of the hill, he grabs his mate Oates, they grab the horse, the wagon, the crowbars, they come back up. They manage to get this big rock out, put it on the wagon, a couple of smaller pieces, put those on the wagon. They took these rocks straight home, they put them on the fire, so that heat expands the rock and it's easier to chip the rock off. For the next 10 hours, they chipped away, they chipped away, they chipped away. They finally removed all the rock and uncovered that nugget inside. And they said, welcome stranger, welcome stranger. And that's what they called the nugget, they called it the welcome stranger. This is a replica of that gold nugget. This is a replica of the gold nugget they found in that rock on that day in 1869. Very, very nervous, very, very excited. They had their friends come over for a few drinks. I think they had their friends come over for a bit of security because the next day they put it into a box, put it on the wagon. Their friends sat around the box on the wagon and they went into town. They stopped outside of the bank. Decent runs in and he says to the bank manager, I have some gold on my wagon, how much are you paying? And the bank manager said, I'll pay you £4 per ounce. And Decent said, you quote me 100 weight, sir. Decent wanted the bank manager to quote him for 112 pounds of gold. And the bank manager said, you reek of alcohol, nobody's got that much gold, you get out of my bank. He kicked him out of the bank. Decent runs down to the wagon with his friends, they pick up the box, they come back and they place the nugget in front of the bank manager. The bank manager looks down and he shakes his head. He says, sorry, I can't weigh that on my scale, it's too big. Back in the box, back on the wagon to the end of town to Archibald, the blacksmith. Archibald and his assistant, they chopped it up into several pieces. They brought those pieces back. The bank manager weighed them individually for a combined weight of just under 71.5 kilos. The reward was just over 9,534 pounds. In today's money, that is about $8 million. This still holds the record as the biggest gold nugget ever discovered anywhere in the world. The welcome stranger found in Malaga, Victoria in 1869. The world's biggest gold nugget. But we're here in WA, so I'll tell you about our biggest gold nugget. It was 1931, it was during the Depression. A lot of unemployed people here in Perth protesting and rioting. The government came up with a plan how to disperse them. They wrote a free book how to go prospecting. But already prospecting 650 kilometres in that direction, in a place called Widjamutha with Jim Larkham. Jim's had a new mining lease. He's only had that claim for about a week. His 16-year-old son, Jimmy, young Jimmy's job was to carry plywood into town. Dad comes home, young Jimmy's quit his job. So Dad said, you can come out prospecting with me tomorrow. The next day they jump on the wagon, they go out into their claim, they dig around. They find nothing substantial the first day together. The second day they jump on the wagon, they go out into their claim, the wagon goes over a pothole. Young Jimmy, he remembers that wagon went over the same pothole yesterday. Now, I don't know if young Jimmy was smart or lazy, he didn't want to dig any more holes. He walks back to the pothole. He starts looking at the pothole and he yells out, Dad, nugget, nugget, nugget. Dad comes running across and he sees young Jimmy struggling. Young Jimmy was struggling to pull out this 35.5 kilo gold nugget, and Dad gives him a hand. They pull it out of the ground. And Dad wanted to call this little Jimmy. Little Jimmy. Looks like a baby, huh? Yeah. But you know, when you're 16 years old, you don't want to be called a baby. So they didn't call it little Jimmy. What they called it instead, they called it the golden eagle. Maybe it looks like an eagle flying. Maybe because Widjamutha, where they found it, is an Aboriginal word meaning birds speak, eagles speak. This was purchased by the Western Australian government at the time for just over £5,400. Young Jim and his dad James were given a job by the government to travel around Australia with it to promote Western Australia gold and prospecting. And they did that. Unfortunately, during the Depression, the Western Australian government started to run low on money. The golden eagle was brought back here, was taken in the melt house. The melt house is the exact same room you're going to be sitting in about 10 minutes' time, watching the gold pouring demonstration, and it was chopped up and melted down in that room. Young Jim and his dad James, out of a job. But they had a bit of money from the sale and they invested very wisely. Sorry, wise is the wrong word. They invested very Australian. They bought themselves a pub. They bought themselves a pub and they called that the Golden Eagle Hotel. That Golden Eagle Hotel was operating in Boulder, Kalgoorlie, all the way up until 2010. In 2010, there was an earthquake out there that damaged the pub. A couple of years later, the pub burnt down and had to be demolished. The pub no longer exists. The Golden Eagle, Western Australia's biggest nugget, no longer exists. And the Welcome Stranger, Australia, and the world's biggest gold nugget no longer exists. Folks, what we're going to do now, we're going to move inside. As we move inside, please ensure you have your wrist tickets on. And we're going to start off by standing around the big coin. The big coin, not the Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoins inside. It's a big coin. Up to the door, thanks, mate. Just gonna stand. Tickets, guys, tickets. Yeah, okay, thank you. Just gonna stand around the top here, around the big one, thank you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New Zealand, and yes, welcome back to the Garden City of Hamilton. I hope you guys did enjoy that wonderful tour, especially the flight down to Perth International Airport and then going to the Perth Mint, where most of these coins are being minted in terms of the Perth Mint Lunar series. Today is it today? No, this year rather. We are actually in the year of the snake. So for those of you who have actually seen most of my Perth Mint gold coin reviews, yes, I do have them on here. I have done all the series on my channel, so you guys can always go check those out on my channel. All the lunar series we have done, including the wabbit as well as the dragon. Yes, yeah, so all these are being minted and manufactured in Perth, in the Perth Mint, which you guys just transported yourself from, or you guys teleported yourself back from. Yeah, that was the Perth Mint. And yes, thanks to George, one of the professionals and the tour guides there at the Perth Mint, they were able to assist us with this topic of the origins of gold into planet Earth, which was quite an interesting one. He made mention of the periodic table, gold in the periodic table AU, and which is what we have on here in the periodic table itself. So I said, let me get the periodic table printed out to show you guys in this video. For those of you who don't know what the periodic table is, for those of you who were not able to attend school and went straight to trade or apprenticeship, yeah, you guys now know what they call the periodic table, and you guys all have the atomic symbols. Before, I call them the molecular formula. Before, one of the subscribers or the commenters said, no, it's an atomic number, not a molecular number. So anyways, however you learnt it, whatever. So I said, let me start calling it the atomic number of, or the atomic letter for gold, which is AU. Let me zoom in so that we can at least get the AU part on here. All right, so yes, so for those of you who usually see the symbol AU in the gold symbol, always at the back, let me show you guys where it is located. So you guys see it, 1 ounce, 4 nines fine purity AU, meaning the molecular, or let me say the atomic symbol of gold. So if we are talking of silver is just right above. It is AG. Do I have any silver here? Unfortunately, this antique silver from the Royal Mint UK doesn't have the molecular symbol of silver on here. It does have the 10 ounce, but no denomination. Let me see if I can get, yeah, another bullion itself. Geez, this Perth Mint coins AU doesn't state AU. That's interesting. That is quite interesting. Sorry, AG. But yes, the lunar series from the Perth Mint, this has come to the rescue. Yes, 1 ounce, your weight, 4 nines fine purity AG, atomic symbol of silver in the periodic table. So yes, the lunar series has actually come to the rescue. This is silver. All right, but yeah, this topic is indeed gold. So I'm pretty sure that you guys did enjoy what he had to say. So before I conclude, please hit that like button. It is food for the YouTube algo. It's not easy to craft out videos like this, looking at the fact that we'll be going 12 episodes every month. Every month we do this. So yeah, every month we do this particular topic, or let me say theme, gold, money for the demons. Yes, and then we'll pick up a particular topic. I'm pretty sure that you guys did enjoy the origins of gold into planet Earth, and also discovery of gold in Western Australia, yeah, by George from the Perth Mint. So yeah, it is not easy, so pledge your allegiance to us, hit that like button. It does help to get this particular money talk show series to other people who like gold and silver content. And yes, if you're new on here, we do things like this on a weekly basis, so please pledge your allegiance to us, give us your full support, continue to support us, let us continue to grow and continue to generate ideas to to create, you know, interesting stuffs like this for you guys. Alrighty, so yes, let me correct myself on here. It is actually here. I just saw that when I was pleading for you guys to give me your support. But yes, the name, this is the symbol, this is the atomic number. So if this is an atomic number, this should be an atomic symbol. So yes, so atomic number is 79, atomic symbol is AU for gold, which is what we focused on this channel. Alrighty. I believe you guys have enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure for those of you who have actually gone through the videos of the Perth Mint tour, it is there on my channel. You guys can always have a look at that. I'm still pending to do a video covering this particular booklet that I actually bought in the Perth Mint, and then they gave me this 125th year anniversary brochure. So I'm yet to go through this booklet with you guys, which I'll be doing in a separate video. So if you do want that, let me know in the comment section below. I need motivation. So yes, if you guys want me to go through this particular booklet in a separate video itself, let me know in the comment section. I did promise it, but looking at the fact that I have a 12 episode series, yeah, that will mean me having to give myself additional sleepless night to craft out how to uncover this particular brochure booklet series from the Perth Mint. Yes, I did promise that I would do that, but you know, having so many other contents to plan for, you know, planning contents are not really easy. So you have to plan, draft, write, proofread, and see how you will get that out to the public. So yeah, let me know in the comment section how to proceed with this one, if you guys really want it. If not, I may just probably put it on the back burner, and yeah, God knows when you guys will see it. But anyways, I believe that should be all. In terms of this particular topic. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is a very big thank you to each and every single one of you once again for dropping by to listen to yet another of my splendid, spectacular, and fantabulous precious metal talk show videos. And with that, I will see you guys next month, where we do chapter 2. Thank you. Have a nice day.